First alert now, a person is being treated for injuries in an officer-involved incident in Mishicot. Mishicot police officers responded to a domestic dispute on the 200 block of South Main Street today, just before 4 o'clock this afternoon. Authorities found a subject in a driveway who approached them in what they described as an aggressive manner. Law enforcement say they gave verbal commands to the person, but they ignored those commands. Officers deployed non-lethal means in an attempt to control the person, who then became distressed. Authorities then performed life-saving measures and called for emergency services. The person was transported to a local hospital and is being treated there. No officer or other people were injured in the incident. The involved officer has been placed on administrative duty per department policy. The Wisconsin Department of Justice is investigating.